So here we are starting a new project, the largest canvas I've painted to date. She is a little bit over 4 by 5 feet, and I built her about a year prior to this, and I was just waiting for enough strength to get the painting done. So settle in, welcome, I'm really glad you're here. Come on this journey with me, and I really hope you enjoy a little bit of my process. Have you ever heard of the phrase, killing your darlings? It's a phrase I've heard plenty of times, and I could never fully understand it. It never made sense to me. It felt like the only way to truly be a good creator or artist is to be willing to destroy your creations. That you have to approach creation with a sense of detachment, and that's just something I could never get behind. I put everything into my paintings. All my paintings are a piece of me, a reflection of me, something that I hold so close and dear to my heart. Well, recently I heard the phrase, killing your darlings, in an expanded context, and it finally made sense to me. Darlings are a little bit different from the things you love. Things you love are things that you're passionate about, things that you put your whole self into. And darlings are those cute little fun side quests that keep you from giving your whole self to your passions. If you're willing and daring enough to eliminate your darlings, then you'll have enough energy and thought space to bring the things you're truly passionate about and love forward. Now that's something I can definitely get behind. There's plenty of things that take up too much of my time that I could definitely give up to give my dreams a chance. What fun things and happy distractions are taking you away from forward progress and potential exciting expansion? What would you be willing to put to the side to give yourself a chance, to give your dreams a real chance? Would you give up who you were told you could be by other people? All the hopes and dreams and expectations others have put on you? All of the boxes you were forced into? Would you deviate from those expectations society places on you? Would you dare change your influences to redirect your outcomes? Would you give yourself the time to sit with yourself until you reach a solid truth to base your next steps on? Sometimes we choose to give things up, and other times we're forced to give them up. Choiced or forced, it can still hit us like a ton of bricks, completely destabilizing the foundation and understanding we have for how we move through and will move through this life. For me, this tipping point that pushed me to give my dreams a real chance were very serious physical injuries. It changed nearly every aspect of my life, and most times feeling crushingly miserable. Feeling forced to change added pain to the experience. Feeling like I was forced to watch people enjoy life while I was struggling on the sidelines. But eventually, I began to see the blessings. The blessings beyond the reduction in physical pain and regaining of mobility and dexterity. I gained confidence, determination, the ability to live a life based more on what felt good to me versus what I was told made a good life. I began to trust my intuition and make decisions that made way for as much joy as possible. To finally let go of the loss and make way for the blessings. That was true transformation. So many things I used to enjoy had to change. But who I am at this point and what I have learned through the pain, I'm truly grateful for. Can you be alone without being lonely? Can you see that time as a blessing, a time to find out new things, to enjoy, to learn? Can you start to give your dreams a foundation and priority in your life? Can you turn your isolation into gold? Can you use that time for self-development, self-connection? Can you accept the isolation as temporary and begin to extract the blessings? For me, the isolation began like a punishment. It felt terrible. It felt like a punishment because so much shame and negativity is put on being a loner. That we are social creatures and that something's wrong when or if you don't engage in the correct way. But what if our social patterns are unhealthy? What if our society is not a place where we can truly thrive? It took me a long time to let go of the association of alone as negative. Thinking if I wasn't a part of some deep community, I had less value. It caused me to shrink and contort myself to fit into a group. Stepping away gave me a new perspective and it helped change my value system. I began finding new things to enjoy. I still miss things, but I saw expansion and possibility of what life had to offer. Maybe the everyday social habits, the systems, were all preventing me from finding true connection, healthy connection, and inspired connection. I also began finding a new peace and calm I haven't ever experienced before. I began to envision a life that I could truly adore thoroughly. The hum of society is constantly giving us distractions disguised as dreams, constantly telling us what a quality life is and what to model. And so many of us are unsatisfied with achieving these. There is pain in the sloughing off of old ways, patterns, habits, and it's hard to release the false dream. We hope it wasn't all a lie, and it makes us more reluctant to look at certain aspects of our lives. Maybe the stepping away is answering our spirit's cry for truth, to reconnect to a natural rhythm, one that will give us the time and space to let a full, fulfilling life blossom. In releasing the distractions, you can find your truth. And when you feel confident, rejoin society in a new way. In a way that allows you to sustain who you really are. Maybe on the other side of that painful isolation, you'll meet the people who approach life from a similar perspective. Maybe this time your community will have true strength and love, and all the pieces your soul has been yearning for. And when you meet them, you'll have cultivated enough confidence, truth, and a strong foundation to stay true to yourself and your dreams. On the benches of life, in those deep dark trenches, in the loneliness, I found pieces of me, pieces I had lost along the way, the pieces chipped away by trying to fit in, from the criticisms I took too personally, who people expected me to be, who I had hoped I would be. I found gems. I began feeling whole in a new way, with confidence, curiosity, and excited to explore. I found me there. Maybe when you're alone after the dust settles, you'll too hear the whispers of your soul. Hopefully that whisper grows loud enough that you'll start to hear your true voice through the crowd. All your wants, all your desires and motivations. Hopefully you'll find the space to love yourself fully. The space to allow your true voice to come through and develop. Hopefully you find it worth it to step away and find yourself so you can move in truth, in strength, in clarity, in peace in times that feel uneasy. To be able to stand in your power when presented with fear or danger. I hope you'll always be able to find your voice through the hum of society. I hope that you'll be able to dance to the rhythms of your own drum and move forward with confidence, determination, and purpose. I guess it's time to get into some of the symbolism of this painting. I debated whether or not sharing, but I'll just share a little bit. I really love when somebody comes to me after seeing a painting and their interpretation is almost the same as the interpretation that I intended when painting it. I also love hearing new interpretations of my work. I can always see exactly what they mean when they tell me, so I want to leave a lot of space for you to interpret what you see and feel. The heron, she hunts alone. She gains strength in her isolation. She is not seen as lacking a community. She is still a part of it, but she derives power from being alone and in her flow, in her element. These periods of aloneness are necessary to her survival. It's okay to take a different path in life. Find what feels correct to you. The heron, they also stand still, waiting for the most opportune moment to strike. They're able to wait for things to come to them, not wasting time in chasing. They're able to move with deliberate intention. And this babe, she was able to trust that there would be a solid foundation under the muck, that she would be able to find her peace, to stand still in the chaos around her, and be able to move in power and reflect the things that are truly important to her. To stay true to her wild self, to listen to the call of her soul, to take her own path, to reflect and magnify the light that was given to her and shine it all around. I hope you're able to find the courage to walk your own path. I appreciate you coming along this journey with me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And here she is, the finished painting. I call her Wild Thing.